So the gentleman in the red shirt, his name is Joe Thomas. He is a server at an IHOP in Illinois. And one day during his shift, he noticed this couple sitting down eating, and it was a husband and wife, and the wife was disabled, and the husband was feeding the wife. So what he decided to do is he took a break from his shift and he sat down and he started feeding the disabled wife. And he did so her husband could enjoy his meal for once and not have to feed the wife the entire time without being able to enjoy his own food. Now, Joe didn't realize that this was going to go viral and become a big story, and he didn't even make a big deal of it. But another patron snapped a photo and a video of him doing this and went viral. The governor of Illinois even gave Joe some recognition, and I definitely want to give him some recognition because this is an amazing story of someone that just selfless, kind, and man, I wish we saw more of this type of stuff plastered like we do the other stuff. But if you like a good, wholesome, heartwarming story like I do, make sure you hit that follow button for more. This is LaTanya. She's an Uber driver in Atlanta, Georgia. One day after a United game, which is the soccer team in Atlanta, she picks up a passenger by the name of Kevin, the gentleman standing next to her. They get into a conversation during this 2-hour drive and start to share intimate details about their lives. Kevin tells LaTanya about his recent divorce. LaTanya tells him how difficult it is being a single mother of 3, and she's using Uber to supplement her income, but she is still struggling to pay her utility bill. So she also goes into how she wants to go back to college, but she previously was in college, had to drop out, has some debt, and financially she's just not in a place to be able to return to college. So after all this conversation, Kevin hops out, and then LaTanya checks her phone and sees that Kevin left her a $150 tip with a message that said, "Pay your utility bill with this money, and please keep me updated on your college plans." Now, she's ecstatic, a very generous tip, and she's thinking, man, this is amazing, a blessing. She goes about her day. A few months later, she goes to enroll back into Georgia State University. That's where she attended before. And she's filling out the paperwork, and she says, I know I have some debt to pay, but I'll figure it out. She's expecting the thousands of dollars that she had from her previous stint at the university. She looks at her statement and sees that there's only $693 left on her balance. And she knows that can't be right because, like I said, she owed a full tuition's worth. Come to find out, Kevin had contacted the university and paid off the majority of her debt so she could re-enroll and continue her education. So this is a photo of her and him at her graduation, and she is now on her way to becoming a parole officer. Now, when I saw this story and read about it, I just thought it was beautiful. You never know who you're talking to, and nothing's a coincidence. People are in your life at the moment they're supposed to be, and I always say you're either meant to change someone else's life or they're meant to change yours. So shout out to LaTanya, shout out to Kevin. Man, beautiful story.
This is De'Aubrey Filson. He is a 25-year-old from Montgomery, Alabama, and he works at a local Hardee's in his hometown. This is Shane Woodward. He has been a customer of that same Hardee's for quite some time, and him and Filson had a very unexpected interaction. So Filson recently got a job at Hardee's because he wanted to start helping out his mom around the house with some bills. The closest job that he could find is this Hardee's, and this Hardee's is 4 miles from where he lives. So he has to walk nearly an hour each way every single day to get to this job. Now you can imagine how tiring that might be. Shane is on his way to that same Hardee's one day, and he drives by Mr. Filson and notices him wearing his Hardee's uniform. Now Shane says to himself, there's no way that this young man is walking all the way to Hardee's. Sure enough, that's exactly what he was doing. So what happens that same day is De'Aubrey finishes his shift at Hardee's, comes outside to a brand new bike that Mr. Woodward had left for him. Mr. Woodward said he did not want this young man walking so far to and fro just to get to a job. He thought a bike would make his commute way more comfortable, way easier for him, and he thought it was a small gesture and that it would improve DeAubrey's life immensely. And he was 100% correct. So the story got to the news. The news showed up. Mr. Woodward and Mr. Filson met for the first time because he left the bike anonymously, and they got together. They had a conversation. After this meeting, Shane took DeAubrey out for dinner, and they still keep in contact to this day. They're both sports lovers, and even though there's a bit of an age difference, it doesn't matter. They still have this bond, and I think this is a beautiful story. And just a simple, kind act literally changes his entire commute each and every day, and he's never going to forget that. So shout out to Shane for being so kind and selfless. Shout out to my man Mr. Filson for working hard and being dedicated enough to walk 4 miles to work. Wow, I love it. Shout out to both of them. Dope story.
So this gentleman goes to the grocery store to buy some orange juice. And when he gets there, he says, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to get some high quality stuff. Orange juice was $5. He comes back, puts the orange juice on the table, and his wife says, why did you get such an expensive bottle of orange juice? $5 is too expensive. Go back and get the cheap stuff. He goes back to the store, exchanges it, buys a cheaper bottle for $2.50, spends the remaining $2.50 on a lottery ticket. And this was the result. He won $315 million. All because his wife said the juice was too expensive. Wow. That is an unbelievable story. What are your thoughts? This is Jason Bordeaux. He was in the grocery store one day and he's just hanging out in line waiting for his turn to be called. And he speaks to another gentleman in line. They just exchange pleasantries. And then he's called up by the cashier. So they ring up all of his items, and then the cashier says insufficient funds. So Jason is perplexed because he just deposited his check the day before, but however, he had deposited the check with a different bank and didn't realize that the funds would not be processed immediately. So he thought he had enough money to be able to cover his groceries. The other gentleman is Kevin Jones. He is the guy that Jason spoke to while he was waiting in line to be checked out. Kevin stepped up to the register and said, you know what? Don't worry about it. Everything that Jason's getting, put it on my tab. I got it. Don't even worry about it. That kind gesture has led to a true friendship between Jason and Kevin. Here are the two of them here, seen at a gathering and a get-together. And funny thing about it is that the week that this happened, the upcoming weekend was actually Kevin's birthday. So Jason found out that it was his birthday and threw a whole birthday bash, inviting Kevin's family. Jason's family was there. Just a beautiful scenario. And the story was picked up by the news, and you can see this is Kevin, his family, and Jason at the grocery store with some of the grocery store employees. And the reason I wanted to share this story is because you see so much doom and gloom on social media. There are good people out there. There's a lot of good people out there, a lot of good people with good hearts. And it doesn't matter what race, color, none of that stuff matters. All these boundaries that are imposed upon us, and it's made it to seem as if we're constantly at war. And again, horrible things are happening in the world, but not enough of these stories are shared. So I want to share this with you, and I hope it adds some sunshine to your day. This is JP. He owns a lawn care service in Sarasota, Florida. One day, one of his clients gave him a call and said, hey, I have to put your services on hold because I just got into a bad car accident and I'm going to be out of work and I need to cut as much cost as possible. JP did not want to accept that, and he did not accept that. And here's where things get interesting. The very next week, this image pops up on the woman's Ring camera. And she is very confused and shocked by this. But this is JP doing his weekly routine of cutting her lawn. and she has no idea what's going on. She canceled, she fired him, and she explained to him the situation. Yet he showed up in the middle of the summer in the Florida heat, and he is mowing her lawn. And he continued to mow her lawn week after week after week after week without charging her a dime in the Florida heat. Never even said anything to her about it. She posted it on Facebook with this kind message saying that how much she appreciated it. And shout out to JP, man. This is real dope to me. If you're in the Sarasota area, show my man JP some love. He definitely deserves it. Wow. Shout out to him. I love seeing stuff like this. Amazing.